Hello everyone and welcome back. It is a pleasure to have you back here with me again. As you know, I'm always talking about life experiences, my past, and things that are currently happening. But today I'm going to start out with a question. Who remember back in the days in Jamaica when no school on Fridays was a thing? Yes, I remember them clearly, and I had some fun on those no school on Friday days. As most of you who have been watching my videos will know, that I used to live with my grandmother in my younger days. And I remember my grandmother used to go to Alley Market, that is in Clarendon in Alley. And I remember coming home from school on Thursdays, I would help her to pack the load. She would have tangerine, pear, naseberry, mangoes, and peppermint. She would also have bammies because she would bake a lot of bammies to take to the market. So we'd get all of that ready on Thursday night and we'd walk all the way out to Sweetland Gate and pack it behind the Catholic Church wall and cover it up, leave it there. And then like the bammies now, we'd take the bammies out in the morning, but the other fruits and stuff, we'd pack those in baskets and leave them, as I said, behind the Catholic Church wall. And Friday morning we would get up really early, get stuff together, and we'd walk all the way out to Catholic Church from Shaken Corner in Sweetland. And believe me, it was so dark because at that time they didn't have street light. And I remember she would have the bottle torch. You would get a Malta bottle or a Dragon bottle, put kerosene oil in there, wrap the newspaper really tight and push it down in the bottle. You turn the bottle upside down so it would soak the newspaper, and then you light the newspaper. So I'd be the one holding the bottle torch and I'd be walking with it. So each time the fire going down, I would turn it over again to let the fire, get higher. So that is what we would use as light to walk all the way out to Sweetland Gate from Shaken Corner on Friday morning time. And when we get out there, more people would be out there because you have several people in that area who, would go to Alley Market. So when we get out there, we would start to take out the load from behind the wall, and different people would have things that they use to mark their load. Some people would use black joint bush, some would use a piece of red cloth or a piece of scandal bag, something. So, your goods, your load wouldn't get mixed up. So we would be there and we do all of that, and by like 4:30 somewhere there, you would hear Beverly's bus blowing because it would come from farm and come all the way down through Asia, come down, So you would hear the bus blowing in the early morning, and it would come and stop at the Catholic Gate, and they would just heave up the things, on the bus stop, and as a small child I would wonder how they just throw up the things, and they catch it like that. But the conductor and the busmen who work on the bus, they would throw up the bags and stuff, and they would catch it. And when we go on the bus now from Sweetland Gate, I think the next stop would be somewhere in Prattville or Pusey Hill, but going through it would stop and pick up people. And then when it stopped there, I'm not sure if it's Pusey Hill was the last stop before you get to Milk River. So in Rest, they had a stop named Rest. So when it stopped at Rest, people would come on the bus, and some people from further up in Manchester who bringing stuff for people who they know in Rest, they would bring stuff and give it to them. And from Rest, I can't remember the bus stopping anywhere else until it reached to the gate of Alley Market in Clarendon. And when you get to Alley Market, the guys are already there waiting to help take off the things off the bus. And they would unload the bus, and take in the things into the market. I would help my grandmother set out the things. You put a heap of tangerine there, a bit of pear, and things like that. And I remember the bammies. The bammies were actually ordered from people down there, so she didn't have problems selling the bammies because people would come and collect the bammies. But we'll put out the load, and after those sell a bit, then we'll put out some more. And I would stay there Friday, so whole day Friday would stay in Ali Market. And I remember Saturday evening, the bus would come, a Beverly's bus. I remember the driver, the name of him was Sarge. He was the one that would drive the bus from Ali Market to Rocky Point. And when we get to Rocky, the bammies that were in the box, then I remember the Heineken box or the red stripe box, that is what my grandmother used to pack the bammies in. So when we get to Rocky, they had this restaurant over there owned by this lady, we call her Auntie Mavis. I can't forget, there was a man in there named Doc, and a younger guy then, we call him Manawar. And when my grandmother delivered the bammies there, she would then go and walk on the seaside a bit, and sell pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper, red pepper, and if she have any fruits, she would probably bring over them and sell them. But I remember Auntie Mavis would pack a lot of food and give us, and fried fish and bun and coconut cake and all of that. And then we would take a bus back from Rocky Market, go back to Ali, and then late Saturday evening, maybe about 7 o'clock or somewhere there, a Beverly's bus would come and carry us back to Manchester. And we would reach back Manchester maybe about 8:30 in the night. And I remember the conductor on the bus from Ali to farm, I remember his name was Bull. I don't remember the name of the driver. But when we get home Saturday night, I remember one of my uncles would be out there with the donkey. The donkey's name was Doris. So whatever we bring back from Clarendon, we would pack it on the donkey and, walk all the way back round to Shaken Corner. And when I get home, I would be so tired. But Sunday morning, I would be up early because, my grandmother, she attended the Prattville Anglican Church and she's not going to miss church. So I would get up early, and for breakfast on Sundays, I would have some fried fish and coconut cake and peppermint tea from, the coconut cake and the fried fish was from Auntie Mavis. Yeah, and we had a lot of peppermint, so, we always be drinking mint tea. And, we would go to church, as I mentioned before, Prattville Anglican Church. And I remember that church didn't really have a lot of members, but, it was a church, so, you attend and stuff. And I remember that is where I met Winston Jones. We affectionately call him Justice. And mentioning Winston Jones, I remember when they used to have the RADA meeting. I think it's every third Wednesday at the Prattville Health Center. And Winston Jones would be there every time the meeting keep. He would be there. He wasn't going to miss that meeting. And I remember they would bring peppermint plants. Sorry, not peppermint plants, because there's so much peppermint. So, yeah, not peppermints, pimento plants and oranges, Artanic navel fruit, Parson Brown oranges, and they would bring them, give out the sucker, and people would plant them. But I remember Winston Jones had a blue ladder, and he didn't behave as if he was up there, he was better than anyone, He was a very humble person. And I remember he would bring me, my grandmother, and 2 other ladies, around in the night because we live so far. So he would drive round by Jonestown, that is in his area, and drive through and drop us off in Sweetland, and then he would go back home. So, growing up with my grandmother, that was something really good. And all of that experience, going to the market, seeing Ali, seeing Rocky Point, having the experience on the bus and the donkey and all of that, I'm thinking about it, and then I say, if we didn't have no Friday schools, then, I wouldn't really experience all of that. And no Friday school wasn't something that was set by the teachers or principal or nobody. It was just parents just really think, oh, it's Friday, my kids don't have to go to school, But anyway, it worked out how it worked out, and I was just thinking of that and think, why not do a video on that? Who remember no Friday school? Anyways, you know, I'm always going back and coming back with memories and talking about fun stuff, my past and all of that. So if you're interested and you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.